How's everybody doing today? Ain't been doing much here because we've been getting rain the last several days. I still have never gotten a rain gauge around here yet. And like I say, no one doesn't really make any difference. You know, we got quite a bit of rain. I'm saying we're pushing around that 2-inch mark. We didn't get nothing last night, but the night before we had a steady rain practically all night and most of the morning. Day before that was dry, but the night before that was another probably 3/4 of the night we got a steady rain overnight. There was some yellow on the radar, so we got a little heavy rain, but most of it was a nice steady even rain. And I mean, puddles in the yard have water sitting in them, but nothing else has water sitting. I mean, this is usually a softer corner because all the water runs through here. There's wet holes. Basically from that stone pile this way is usually what's wet. And like I say, I can't dig my heel in anywhere near in the ground. And this here, like I say, I gotta do something different here. This used to be no bigger an area. Now, most of this I can drive in. I just had some old round bales. I took out here some rabtay. This carries most of the time, and it used to be just an area right around that culvert pipe there. You know, maybe 30 foot in radius around there and stuff that would stay wet. And like I think this started growing like this one back when my dad was still alive. So this has been this way for 30 years. But, you know, problem is grass like this. This holds the moisture. You got to get that ground opened up for the ground to dry out. But we had some wet years and it backed up, and you stay out of the area. Now this here, like I said, I can brush hog all this. The reason why I don't do nothing in here lately, and I need a dry spring next time I plow this. That's the thing, last time I had corn in here was wet. I didn't try to, it's better not to root stuff up. But it got so wet in here that one year, I actually have a ditch. I just took the skid steer and spiked in to cut this water off of here and try to help, you know, if you get a ditch where it's catching water and draining instead of going in here and soaking. And I kind of drained it around, and then I've had these round bales sitting in here for like 5 or 6 years. I've been going around. So I just moved them out to the woods here the other day so I can get in here and brush hog this off. I wanted to come in here this spring and set this on fire because it's all this dead shit in the bottom too. That's the other thing. You get these heavy mats and it holds the moisture in there too, because I haven't mowed this off for 2 or 3 years because we've had these wet years. I was going to torch this and let this burn through here. Maybe get the discs down here and get it worked out where I can get a little more air to work, but things don't work out like we planned. But like I said, you can see here, it's starting to green up here again. Now, it's been 2 weeks since this has been mowed. Nothing's really grown back in this. That up there, I should walk up there. Maybe I will. This piece here I mowed about a month ago. And actually, I should come in here and mow this again right now. I'd probably say this is probably about 3/4 of what I cut the first time off this. So, and that's what's hurting it here now. That rain, it's been stunted because there's no rain here for the last 3-4 weeks. And it's kind of just sitting there. Thing to do would be to mow us off and let a regrowth start. So, see what happens. I ain't gonna be mowing nothing probably at least till middle of next week because we still got rain in the forecast. That's if I get around and finalize. I got planned what I'm gonna do with that shaft. I just haven't done it yet. Like I say, you can it shows up, but it's still got a yellowish tint. But like I said, it's had no water to start to regrowth. And I'd say this probably doubled in height here in the last couple of days. Last day or so, once it's got a little rain on it. So I'm gonna say another month, get a little bit of heat. Don't want too much because that stops the growth too. You know, good medium heat. You know, we get some dew at night would help. But we still got a day or two of rain in the forecast here yet. So Can't go over there what I actually stopped down here for. What I stopped down here for is because I wanted a bale to show this. This is the field where I had the wagon that couldn't get loaded completely. I left a couple bales down here because I am feeding this hay out already. Still, got cows in the barn up here, calves. So it's just easier to come down here to get a bale. Doesn't matter if it's just out here for a while in the rains. I think I'm not gonna hurt it that much. Instead of taking it over, stacking it, and I have to go over to the heifer barn to get the bales of hay where I stack it, to bring it down here to feed it. So I'm still gonna be doing that, but to have a trip. But what I wanted to show, I was gonna answer some questions on this baler and these bales, show some of the differences. Now, this baler is what they call a 4x4. Made in Germany. It's actually 4 meter by 4 meter. These bales actually end up about 4.5 foot in diameter. So a little bit smaller, or a little bit bigger than a normal 4x4 baler made in the United States. But, and the other thing, what I wanted the bale to show was, there's two types of balers, what they call a fixed chamber and a variable chamber. And mine is a fixed chamber where the diameter is just the same. It's more or less a die. It just forms the bale. And what happens when you start baling, it's picking up the hay until that chamber gets full. And it's flopping around in there a little bit and sort of rolling. But until that chamber gets filled, it's not turning that hay. And if you really look at this, this is what they call, being a fixed chamber makes what they call a soft core bale. And if you look right here in the middle section, you can see how this kind of goes around. It's kind of like a star shape. That's because it's filling the chamber, and once that chamber gets full and it starts packing it in there where it starts grabbing so it'll turn, then the bale starts turning. And you look at the outside of the bale, these are all brown layers. Now, a fixed chamber, or a variable chamber, starts at the center. It's usually a belt baler. Now, New Holland made chain balers like mine, or with a chain like mine. That was variable, and they would start out at a center, and as it fills up, there's a mechanism that stretches the bales out, and the bales, or belts, stay in contact with the bale the whole time. So it's like this all the way through the bale. In the very center, very little of it, because it does take a little bit to start it, but it's not the whole chamber. And the benefits, kind of the benefits of both, now theory is with the soft core bale, it's actually less dense in here than it is out here. And it allows the bales to air out more. Problem is you're getting less in the bale because it's less dense in here. And that's a benefit of the variable chamber, more density all the way through, you're getting more hay. And the denser the bale, the better it sheds water, So, but my baler is mostly mainly for making baleage. That was when the dealer that started selling these balers, that was his thing at the time. And that's when really started wrapping bales. Now we're talking 30 years ago. That's when a real kick came in. And problem with the belt balers on wet green grass, they slip. The heavier weight, they're not able to run. Now the newer balers are more designed for that. Where back then, that was he got into the chrome balers. That chain and the fixed chamber, it was an ideal setup for making baleage. So, and that's one reason why, at that time, I was looking at doing baleage. That's why I kind of started with that baler and all that. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to show a little bit of that. Now these bales, once they settle here a little bit, these bales don't look too bad. The other thing I want to talk about is when I mentioned about a barrel shape. This one shows it better. I mean, I know what a lot of the problem is, but the thing is doing something to be able to fix it. You can see it has a crown to it. These should be flat. And the problem is, basically, you're getting more material in this area than the outside. And that's one reason why the round baler, you sway back and forth. Now, I'm surprised somebody hasn't said anything about all this hay I'm leaving in the field. It's not, cleans up very good. Well, One thing, it's a really narrow pickup. My pickup is only as wide as the Baler, and you don't have much room to stay on the windrow, and that's where it kind of gets hard. You're supposed to like drive to this side, like I think it says like 25 meters. Then you go this side for 25 meters, and there's gauges on there. I'll show you here in a bit. That shows how the bales pack, and you try to keep them level. Frankly, regardless of what you do, you're not going to keep them level. You're not going to get them packed the same. There's only one way really to get a nice shaped bale, and it all depends on how you rake the hay. And I'll talk about that when I get up to the baler here. But other than that, there's the shape of the bale, the density of the bale is all for storage. It has nothing to do with the quality of hay or how, yeah, it makes a better looking bale and it sells better. If you're selling hay, that's all people look at. People should be looking at the nutritional value of the feed, not how well the bale looks or how green it is. So one channel watch on here that they bale hay on to sell, and they're always, oh, it's green, it's leafy, it's this and that, fine stemmed and all that. I don't give a shit. It could only be 12% protein. The next step over that's got stemmy rained on could be 15% protein. It could have been 18 before it got rained on, but it might be 15 where this nice green stuff's only 12. You never know. So sometimes just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. And they'll get a premium price for it. And it might possibly, 99% of the time it's better hay. But still, it's not a guarantee just because it's green and everything. Because the stems mean nothing really. The stem really has not much feed value. It's all the leaf in it that's got the feed value to it. So I'm going to go up there and we'll show some of this baler here. Well, I'm going to make this quick video because I need some filler for a video, but I don't know if anybody else has noticed. I don't know what YouTube changed, and I don't know if it affects anybody else, but it affected me, and I'll explain here in a minute. But when you, let me pause this here, make a comment on a video, they put your name down on here on the head of the comment. Well, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but them have changed. And instead of just having your channel name, now it's got at, that A symbol. And probably your screen name has changed, or your handle on here. And most people probably just added a number. I'm not all in all the exacts on this. I think that's tying you to your email address, your Gmail for the account. Well, I don't know when, why, or how this changed. I tried looking into this and I haven't really found anything out. But when it changed, for those who don't know, this channel used to be the Ghost of Lucius Clay. And as I explained this before, this was like a throwaway account, and this one blew up into my other account and didn't. In the beginning of the year, I decided to change the channel name. My other account was Mad Farmer 912 Dave. Well, I figured out where you can go on here. Oh, come on. Change screen. Get the right one. That you can go in here and edit this. So I changed this account over to Mad Farmer 912. Then I eliminated the Dave, changed the wording. So it looks more appropriate. And then my other account is the Ghost of Lucius Clay. I haven't posted anything on there for 3-4 years. There's some videos if anybody wants to watch. But basically I switched them around. The problem is the email tied to this account was still the Ghost of Lucius Clay, whatever the numbers I had on there. So whenever they made this change, come on the comments, my screen name or my handle on here changed to at the Ghost of Lucius Clay. Well, that's not going to be good for me because if I comment back, it shows that as I'm replying as the account holder, but it's using that as the handle. So after doing some screwing around. And so this, if this affects anybody, what you got to do is you go to your screen page. You know, you at the top. Oh, come on, we'll get back here. You click on your icon up here with your avatar, or whatever that shit's called, and then you go. I think that's the one. Manage your Google. Nope, that ain't it. We'll do it this way. You can go here. You can go to your channel. You click on the pencil here. This is to edit your account. And here it comes up. This is the account name, the handle. This is what's going on there. And I guess that's the. I guess they did change it here now. And then what your changes to your account or how you want your account to work. So all you gotta do is you gotta go on handle here, and this brings up visible to all users on the account, and you change it right here. The only thing I found is you can't have spaces in that name. And you can change this account back. You know, you can go. You got 14 days. You can go back to the old name. You can change it twice in 14 days, whatever. But you just click up here. You're still going to have that @ on it. So mine said @ the Ghost of Lucius Clay, whatever. So I changed that back. The only thing I had to do is, since I can't have a space between Mad and Farmer, I had to put that underscore or underline or whatever. So there's no open space there. And then you press save. And now, like I said, I don't care if it says Mad underscore Farmer 912. This still shows up as the account name. So now when I comment back or reply to some comment or make a comment anywhere on this account, now it's going to show up as Mad Farmer 912. So like I say, I don't know if this affects anybody else. If anybody else has noted that, I'm surprised somebody didn't comment, because for probably about a week there when I was commenting back, it said the Ghost of Lucius Clay. But so now I got that. But regardless, you're going to have that @ sign in there, and you can't have no spaces on the handle part. So, like I say, if you won't, from what I've noticed, everybody's accounts had some numbers added to it. Maybe the name's the same, but numbers added. So I guess I didn't see anywhere on there where it says you've got to have numbers. When I started typing this, it said everything about the only thing it indicated, you can't have a space in there. So, you know, like I said, you don't need the numbers, I guess, but since that's part of my screen name, I just left them in there. So, I don't know if that helps anybody, but like I say, for this next video I'm going to post up here, I needed some filler for it, so I thought I'd add this into it. So, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you all later.